Hi folks, this is your MWIS Fleeting View with the outlook into the weekend and beyond. If you're looking for a very settled weather chart, look no further than this. High pressure is parked over the top of us during the middle of this week, and it's not moving too much in the days ahead, so settled conditions prevailing with sunshine, broken cloud and mostly very light winds. We'll just see a bit more of a freshening east by northeasterly developing over England and Wales later on Wednesday, and that will just start to draw in some low cloud from the North Sea toward the Pennines by Wednesday night. Temperatures overall will be very pleasant. A cool start, but warming up nicely with daytime values across the mountains lifting toward double figures, and in the valleys and the glens up to the mid to high teens pretty widely. Some sheltered spots could just see a touch of frost at dawn over the next couple of mornings, with some valleys, glens and higher elevation hollows just seeing those temperatures dip away, but that will soon warm up. Not too much to see on these charts then in the days ahead. Thursday does hang on to that easterly breeze across England and Wales, and low cloud could just roll across the Pennines and even some banks of cloud drifting towards East Wales first thing in the morning. That will thin, break and disperse to leave sunnier skies increasingly by the middle of the day. And for Scotland, just a few bits of patchy cloud around, but overall the hills and mountains clear and light winds and some sunshine pretty widely. The breeze will tend to ease a little bit across England and Wales with time. A slight variation on the position of the high towards Friday will just allow more of a southwesterly breeze to start becoming noticeable across more coastal mountains in Scotland, areas north from around Skye in particular becoming a bit breezier onwards into Friday. There's a front which will lie well off to the northwest over the Atlantic. That may just bring some high cloud to the sky, but overall Friday is another fine day with pleasantly warm temperatures for many. Just that breeze up the west coast, and that may just freshen a bit more widely over the highlands with time. Low risk of an odd spot of rain just from high cloud fringing toward northwest Scotland late in the day, but overall it's a good settled picture. Onwards into the weekend, and only subtle changes really, most places staying dry, fine, with some warm spells of sunshine. Southwesterly breezes across the highlands, again noticeable across those western coastal regions. Just watch for some rather gusty conditions around Skye and the northwest coast in particular. Again, some high cloud associated with that front may just be enough for an odd spot of rain. A few local low cloud banks could just be drawn onto coastal mountains near Skye. As we roll further through the weekend, just got to watch that front out to the west of Scotland. It may make some further progress toward the west coast. Great uncertainty on the models at this stage how far that gets. And also just watching a little zone of low pressure swirling around the Bay of Biscay, which may start to make some inroads northwards. Looking at the bigger picture and seeing how things progress through Sunday, as I say, great uncertainty of detail. Those various bits and pieces of weather features out toward the west and southwest trying to make some progress. High pressure is to the east. Many indications would favour some bursts of rain running up into Ireland, possibly just something grazing into Wales from that as well, and the possibility of that front just being close enough to western Scotland to produce some rain locally here as well. So not a completely settled story there for the weekend as a whole, although most places should still get away dry and warm. Just a bit breezier as well through Sunday and onwards into the start of next week. Low pressure potentially just develops a little bit to the southwest. It doesn't really get too far because high pressure most likely to the north is the stronger feature to dominate into next week. And even if there's the odd burst of rain left on Monday or Tuesday for Wales, that is likely to get pushed back away again. Scotland, by and large, looks like staying settled with high pressure nearer all the time, and that expands back in. So next week's forecast, once more, looks to be dominated by high pressure, dry conditions, good amounts of sunshine, and pleasantly warm temperatures with light winds. The following week shows signs of high pressure just becoming more centred further to the northwest of us. That may just allow a cooler northeasterly flow to come in and the possibility of some showers perhaps forming a bit more widely at times. Further forwards, and the signal naturally will get very weak in terms of what we can predict from the models. This chart shows pretty much average pressure patterns with no colours really to speak of on that chart, which may just again suggest that pressure is somewhat lower and it's not quite as settled as it is right now, although some model charts, I must say, do still maintain a signal for some higher pressure. Again, perhaps just the risk of showers from time to time in that forecast. Now, what we sometimes see in late spring as we roll onwards into June is a return of the westerly weather patterns as the tropical Atlantic warms up, and that creates a temperature contrast with more northern climates, and that just speeds up the jet stream, and we can find that westerly weather systems try and come back in, and maybe that's just what we're hinting at a bit further forwards into June. It's one we need to watch for timing at this stage. High pressure shown as being a bit further south, further forwards into June, a long way ahead on this model chart, but that's just one weather parameter to bear in mind, that can be the trend further forwards. So watching for a returning westerly at some point in the weeks ahead, but not there right at the moment. I hope that's useful for planning ahead. That is your fleeting view for today. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.